Y'all, grab your popcorn, sit down, and buckle up, because the tea coming out of Mugello is boiling hot. Just when you thought Ferrari's 2025 season couldn't get any messier, they go and drop a bombshell disguised as a filming day. That's right. A supposed quiet little test at Mugello has turned into the most talked about moment of the F1 summer, and baby, it's not just about car parts. It's about survival, ego, betrayal, and maybe even a little power struggle behind those glossy red garage doors. Because what's really going on behind those Mugello gates, honey, it ain't just cameras rolling. It's drama, it's desperation, it's Ferrari putting everything on the line and praying it doesn't all blow up in there. Perfectly polished faces. So picture this. It's a sleepy Wednesday in Tuscany. Ferrari says it's just another filming day. Yeah, right? Wrong. Because insiders say this was the most crucial test Ferrari has run all year. Some are even calling it a make-or-break moment. Why? Oh girl, where do we begin? Let's rewind. Ever since that humiliating disqualification in Shanghai, yes, the one over plankware of all things, Ferrari's engineers have been scrambling. The SF-5, it's been acting like a diva, unstable, peaky, high maintenance. And let's not forget Lewis Hamilton, Ferrari's brand new star. Their 7-time world champion openly dragged the team after China, saying, "We're running higher than we like." Translation, the car is a hot mess, and he's not here for it. And y'all, if Lewis is frustrated, you know things are bad. Now cut to Mugello, Ferrari's own track, private, emotional, historic, and loaded with meaning. They show up with what looks like a basic setup, but the whisper started immediately. New rear suspension, revised geometry, rumors of damper tweaks, all the signs of a massive, quiet overhaul, and the best part, officially, they only get to 100. Come for filming, but sis, we know what that really means. Nearly 40 high-stakes laps, every corner, every bump, every acceleration. It was a battlefield. This wasn't PR. This was Ferrari's Hail Mary, so now the internet's exploding. You know, what used to be Twitter is on fire. Fans posting grainy zoom shots of the SF-25's rear end with captions like, "She's definitely thicker back there." TikTok girls are stitching Hamilton's old comments with, "Was he talking about the car or the chaos?" And y'all, then came the cryptic Instagram posts. Let's talk about those, because who else but Charles Leclerc would drop a black and white photo of his helmet next to the words, "Everything changes when you stop chasing what's broken." Woo. If that's not a read, I don't know what is. Then Hamilton. And this one had everyone clutching their pearls, posted a story at 2 a.m., no caption. Just Mugello sweeping corners under floodlights, with Drake's Overdrive playing in the background. Subtle, maybe. Deliberate? Oh, absolutely. And behind the scenes, the whispers are getting louder. Anonymous sources, yes, insiders, and yes, they have receipts, are saying that this test wasn't just about mechanics. It was psychological warfare. Between drivers, between departments, between the old Ferrari and the new Ferrari trying to be reborn in the middle of a crisis. See, Ferrari's engineers have spent years designing their cars around Leclerc's style. Sharp front, knife-edge rotation, high drama, high stakes. But Hamilton, he's not here for theatrics. He wants calm, predictability, a car that obeys, not one that tests your faith mid-corner. And you know what that means. Tension. They had to split driving duties at Mugello, share the car, share the test plan, share control, and honey, they were not smiling behind those visors. One insider spilled that the garage atmosphere was like a Cold War with tire warmers. You could cut the tension with a carbon fiber knife, but here's where it gets even messier. This isn't just about setup compromises or telemetry tweaks. This is about momentum. Sources say whichever driver felt more confident in this upgraded SF-25 might be given priority. Heading into the summer run, yes, priority, as in faster car, better strategy, louder voice in briefings. So let's just say the stakes were sky high for Hamilton. It's about proving Ferrari didn't just sign a legend, they signed a leader. For Leclerc, it's about fighting for the team he built his career around. And for Ferrari, it's about holding on to second in the constructors and clinging to relevance. Oh, and let's not forget, Mercedes and McLaren are right there, circling like sharks in the standings. And y'all, the numbers don't lie. Ferrari insiders estimate this rear suspension, if it works, could earn back a tenth per lap. Sounds small. It's not. That's nearly 7 seconds over a race, enough to go from forgettable to a podium, enough to shut up the critics and flip the season script. But the big if is still hanging in the air, because if this upgrade doesn't deliver, all that time, money, and political capital gone. Ferrari will have wasted their shot. Again, you know how that movie ends. Bickering drivers, crumbling morale, and media headlines asking if they've lost the plot. Again, now here's the twist nobody saw coming. Are y'all ready? There are rumors, and I mean serious, whispered in the motorhome rumors, that this rear suspension concept is not even new. Word is, a small group inside Ferrari's aero department proposed something similar during the winter, and we're shut down. MMMHMM. Shut down? Too risky, too radical. Not Ferrari enough. But after China, suddenly, the same concept re-emerged, but this time rebranded, repackaged, and approved. And the original engineers, yeah, let's just say they're not thrilled. Is this innovation, or is it desperation in a new outfit? The girls at Maranello are whispering, and the trust inside that team, let's just say it's being tested harder than the suspension. But back to Mugello, every lap Hamilton ran was like a message to the team. This is what I need. Every lap Leclerc ran was like a protest. This is what you built. Don't abandon me now. And in the middle of it all, team boss Fred Vassar trying to hold it together with a clipboard and a prayer. Because let's be real, Ferrari isn't just trying to win races. They're trying to rebuild belief. They're trying to prove they still know how to fight. And this test, it's either the start of something beautiful or the first chapter in another heartbreak story. So what happens next? If this test data confirms what Ferrari hopes, if that new suspension actually delivers, expect to see a very different SF25 at Spa. One with better compliance, stronger grip, and maybe even a sharper edge on Sundays. But if it flops, if the numbers don't line up, y'all, grab your tissues, because Ferrari's about to enter a spiral they've seen too many times before. Think 2017, think 2020, all hype, no follow through, and this time, they won't just lose races, they'll lose Hamilton's trust, Leclerc's patience, and maybe, just maybe, the paddock's respect. So here's the final T. This Mugello test wasn't about filming, it wasn't about data, it wasn't even about performance, it was about faith. Faith that Ferrari can still rise when it matters most. Faith that the star drivers can work together instead of pulling apart. Faith that innovation and tradition can finally live in the same car, but faith needs results, babe. And when those results drop, you better believe the entire F1 world, and all of us watching, will be watching, with popcorn in hand. So, what do y'all think? Is Ferrari back, or just back in trouble? Sound off in the comments, and don't forget to hit that like button if you're living for this drama, because honey, the second half of the season is going to be wild. And remember, in Formula One, nothing is ever just about the car, it's about the story, and baby, this one's just getting started. And just when we thought the Mugello madness had peaked, guess who popped up in the paddock the next day? None other than Mark Jean, Ferrari's longtime ambassador and trusted mouthpiece. He didn't say much publicly, but insiders say he spent more time whispering behind closed doors than watching laps. And baby, when Jean is in full whisper mode, something big is brewing. Oh, and did we mention the pit wall behavior? Multiple sources caught Vassar, eyes locked on the telemetry screens, biting his lip like he just watched his house burn down. The man looked stressed, not strategic, not calm, just barely keeping it together. Meanwhile, in the hospitality unit, it was pure ice. Leclerc arrived late, didn't make eye contact with half the engineers. Hamilton,